How's it everyone, this is Lolcohol, and in today's video we're going to be talking about the nerfs to poison, specifically with regards to the Blade Vortex build. I've had quite a few comments from people saying, wait, is this still playable? I thought that poison was dead with the changes. And a lot of those comments I don't think came from a bad place, so people were genuinely curious or wanting to know, is it still fine, or did that thing that I read from that other guy who said, oh no, poison's dead now, is that true? So in this video, I'm going to just talk you through it, talk you through the nerfs and what it actually means for my build specifically, probably a lot of poison builds. And then what we can do is run some of these bosses. I mean, it's not a bossing build. It can do bosses, but it's not designed to kill bosses. However, on a League starter, you do want to be able to take down at least the primary pinnacle bosses that grant you your watchstones without having to pay for them. But let's talk about the nerfs and what they meant for the build. So firstly, what were the nerfs? The two primary nerfs were, firstly, this helmet craft. There was an unveiled version that granted 81 to 90% increased duration of ailments you inflict while focused, and the bench craft was 61 to 70%. I'll explain this in a sec. This number was reduced to, now the unveil, I think, is 31 to 40%, and then I guess we're going to have to estimate because they didn't tell us. I don't know why they didn't tell us, but the crafted version, I think, is going to be about 21 to 30%. So a fairly significant reduction in increased duration of ailments while focused. On top of that, we have approximately a 37% reduced temporal chains curse effect, and what that is, other effects on cursed enemies expire 40% slower. This was reduced to 25%. So these two things combined might look really scary. And they are a significant nerf, but I don't believe it's enough to render the build unplayable or anything. So firstly, why is this significant? Let's just talk about the way poison works for people who maybe are not as well versed or just don't know how it works. So the way poisons work is that you hit a monster, you apply a poison stack, and each poison does a certain amount of damage. It also lasts for a certain duration of time. So let's say we have a poison, it does 10 damage a second for 10 seconds. That way we know, okay, this poison does 100 total damage, right? Now, if we can extend this 10 seconds by increased duration of ailments, so we could say something like 10 damage a second for 17 seconds, well, look at that. The total damage is now a lot higher. This is kind of how poisons work. So we have my poisons on my build. This is before the nerf. After the nerf, what you'd notice here is the poison damage is exactly the same. The poison damage per second is the same. However, what is changing significantly is this poison duration and the max number of stacks. And that leads to a greater loss of overall total poison damage. This only really matters when bossing. For mapping, I mean, if you're getting full duration poison stacks on mobs in maps, you've got way bigger problems. This is more significant for bossing. So the way this works is you have your poison damage per second multiplied by the duration will give you this number. That is, I mean, we can just do it. 1 equals sum of 148,477 times 7.71 gives us pretty much this number. There's probably a rounding error or something happening, but you can see that's how this is calculated. So by reducing the duration of ailments you inflict, we're getting less total damage, which you can see down here. So the poison DPS is the same. The total damage per poison is less. So this is each poison, and we can stack on the previously we'd be able to stack 50, about 58 should we say, poison stacks, and now we can only apply 40. This is with 15 withered stacks and full duration poisons and everything, focus up, temporal chains, max effect. And the end result is what you see here. We are losing approximately 32% of our total damage. But this is, again, this is boss specific. It's also very specific if you can apply max poisons all the time on all bosses. A lot of poison builds you've probably seen that people say, oh, it does. I mean, I could have advertised this build as saying, oh, it does 8.6 million poison damage per second on a 2 divine budget. Lots of people will advertise poison builds that way. This is total DPS including poison. So this is over the course of 7 seconds. It's not the same as 8 million DPS. This drives me bananas when I see builds being advertised. 50 million poison DPS. You're like, no, dude, you're doing like 150k dot. But that's a side note. It just annoys me. So we're going from, with max stacks, max everything, 8.6 total damage, 8.6 million total damage with max stacks, max duration down to about 6 million. 32% total damage loss. It's significant. It's not nothing. I'm not saying it's nothing, but it's for a very specific scenario, which is bossing. Now, what can we do to simulate this? Firstly, on our helmet, focus. This is a button that you have to push to get that effect. Why don't we just take that off? And then for temp chains, should we be very naughty? Let's do a Maven without any temp chains at all. And let's just grab a cold iron point. Let's see how it goes. Let's see if poison is completely dead. This is on the budget version of the build. Probably only a couple of divines, really. But let's see. We can run some of the other ones as well. Just like a proof of concept. This is no temp chains, no focus. Is the build dead? Moment of truth. Spoiler, the answer is no. So the thing with poison, it often looks a bit yikes while you're building up stacks, but then once you reach those stacks, it's a lot better. Well, that didn't go according to plan. All right, let's try dodge the stuff. Drop that over there. This build is not suppression cap for some reason. We're applying our poisons. The damage is cringe. It is, I'll tell you what, it is noticeable. Like not having my temp chains, you feel it. But this is like oh, it's Uber Maven. Okay, I'm surprised we even did that much damage. Let's try again. I think that was my last Maven's raid. I was wondering where the damage was. Okay. 2 div budget cannot do Uber Maven. Let's quickly buy another one. Imagine I had done that. Imagine I'd pulled her off and then noticed at the end when she dropped Awakened Enlighten. Alright, we're back. And this is confirmed. A level 84 Maven encounter. We're significantly over nerfing at this point. I'm not going to use the focus mod, that's not on my bar, and we're not using any temp chains. So we're missing out on like 55% increased effect of auras, or I mean not auras, duration of ailments. So this, what you're seeing now, is way worse than what it's actually going to be. But I just want to show you that we can still do damage with the build against bosses. Again, like I said, in maps you're never gonna have to worry pretty much about focus. I don't think I ever pushed that button. Okay, first phase down. We might die during the middle phase, but we'll see. So for BV, when you're doing Maven, don't drop these blobs right in the middle like you would for pretty much any other build, because then you're going to be standing in the blob while trying to kill the nucleus. Alright, memory game. The bane of exiles across the world. Drop these blobbies on the side. So for Maven, and I guess Pinnacle bosses in general, I think having two life loss is actually really important, especially before you have increased flash charges gained and those mods. I don't know if I currently have those on my tree. This is like a semi-scuffed demo version of the build. Do we? Yeah, we don't even have the increased flash charges gained. Okay, let's see. Oh. Oh. But yeah, flaws for bossing matter a lot. Normally, I mean, the ones I have now are fine, really. Oh. But only having one life flask can be kind of deadly, honestly. So grab yourself a second life flask when you do your pinnacle bosses. Usually the one you, not always, but usually the one I drop is like Jade or Granite for Maven. You might need it for the middle phase when she spawns ads, but I mean for the main fight, usually not gonna need it. Just charge up our BV, put that on, and let's go. Curse her. Whoa.
Stand still. Death may real.
Ooh.
Do what I say. Stand still.
I don't think we're gonna get away with this. Let's just drop these blobs. Ooh, close. Okay. And yeah, I probably said at the start, but remember, this is over nerfed. This is significantly over nerfed. No temp chains, no increased duration of ailments. This is like, I don't know, you forgot what you were doing or something. Please stop. Alright, final phase. Cool. Now another pro tip with Maven, just stay chilled. Don't panic. Try to blur your eyes and just see the pattern. Right, top, left, top, left, top. Right, top, left, top, left, top. Right, top, left, top, left, top. Okay, let's charge up that BV. Also, I'm not using my Bile Blade Vortex, which is really nice on this fight. So, be really kind of poggers if she stops standing right in the middle there. Also, don't get hit by these beams. It'll disable your regeneration and your flask. Oh, oh, whoa, whoa. We're probably gonna have to do another memory game because she spent half of it standing in the middle. But it's fine. Ooh, ooh. Yeah, alright, there's memory game number 2. Top, right, top, left, right, top. Top, right, top, left, right, top. Top, left, right, top. And you have plenty of time to do that. Can we tank that? Yeah, we can just potion through it. Okay, and we have nearly succeeded. So, is poison literally dead? No. Even if you over nerf it, we can still do a Maven. Deathless, apparently. So hopefully that demonstrates it alright to you, that despite the nerfs, we can still, on a budget, do bosses even when over nerfing the build. So yeah, if you're worried about it, don't worry. We can still, it's still fine. It's still fine. So let me know what you think. Did this soothe your weeping heart or allay your fears? I think it's going to be fine. And I will be playing this, so if there are any issues with the build, join the Discord, come to streams, ask questions, and we're there to help. We're there to give you the best experience you can have in Path of Exile. We're not here to bait you and ruin your league start. So have a wonderful day, everyone. Stay safe. Take care. Catch you in the next video. Bye-bye.
Divine power! Divine power! It's branching, Exile. You're making me nervous.